Residents taking a look at damage left behind by Friday night storms. It's free fishing weekend in the state of Missouri. We'll take you to one local event. We'll take you to a unique swap meet in Joplin.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Storms sweep through the area, leaving residents cleaning up damage today. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Chris Warner. Thankfully, the weather much calmer today, but still hot. Doug HEADY joining us.
Yeah, pretty big storms for a good chunk of the region during the overnight hours last night, especially right through southeastern Kansas. And then once the storm moved into Joplin, it kind of started to peter out a little bit. But behind it, still hot, still humid. The humidity is actually just a hair lower today than it was yesterday, but still up to 91 degrees. Average high is 85. We started during the morning hours at about 75 degrees. Nothing going on for us today. Clear skies across the entire region. In fact, the entire Central Plains pretty much clear. We have a big ridge of high pressure which is building in out to the west, and that's going to keep us pretty much hot and dry as we go through the next several days, even at 6 o'clock, 6:01. Most of us upper 80s to near 90 degrees for us right now. And then you factor in the humidity and you get the wonderful heat index, the way it actually feels to your skin. Upper 90s to near 100 degrees. So still very hot, very humid through the evening hours. We'll slide back through the 80s, 70s, eventually into the upper 60s for us later on tonight. It is going to cool down just a hair over the next couple days, so we're going to look at that and look into next week as well here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thank you. Well, there's still a number of outages in the area as well. As of news time, Evergy is reporting about 260 without power in southeast Kansas. Liberty is reporting 10 still without power in southeast Joplin. Evergy says they expect power to be restored to all customers by the end of the day. And those power outages aren't the only issue facing residents, especially those on the Kansas side. In Uniontown, widespread damage was reported, mostly uprooted trees. One of the two gas pumps at the Conoco station was blown over. In addition, there are a number of power lines still down in the city, leaving residents without power since around 6 last night. Damage reported in Allen County as well. This video you're about to see is from the Allen County Sheriff's Office from a home in IOLA. So you can see a very large tree taken down by last night's storms. Fortunately, it seems to have missed the house. However, it didn't miss the two cars parked near the home. Officials say they received numerous reports of trees and power lines down across the city. A tree was blown over onto a couple's car just as they were preparing to leave their home. Only minor injuries were reported. Of course, on top of all of the wind and hail with these storms, Mother Nature put on quite a light show. You can see this video from Matt Rush in Pittsburgh. And as you can see there, frequent lightning as the storm began to roll in. And underneath the lightning, torrential rainfall leading to flash flooding in some areas, including Pittsburgh. This video from Donna and Justin Shook. When they zoom in, there you can see just how deep the water is on the car parked in the street. More damage in SEK. This photo coming to us from Katie Bradbury in Bronson. You can see that part of the tree snapped off and came down on the pickup truck. Just another one of many trees damaged in the area by those storms. Not so weather related, there's something fishy going on in Carthage. Today, the 20th annual Kellogg Lake Kids Fishing Day was hosted in Carthage. Anyone 15 years or younger was able to come and fish for free. The lake was open for kids to fish from 8 to noon and then opened up to everyone. Event officials stressed the importance of getting kids to learn about fishing.
But patience is a big part of it. You know, you've got to understand how to read the water and how to understand what the fish are going to do and what baits to use, and knot tying and all sorts of stuff to make sure that you can rig everything to keep that fish on there when you do catch one. But it's nice to be able to work with these youth and their parents and educate them a little bit so that they have the confidence to go out and do it on their own outside of these weekends.
This weekend also happens to be Free Fishing Weekend in the state of Missouri. Later tonight, we'll hear more about this event. Scales and Tails in Joplin held an aquatic swap meet. The swap meet sold everything aquatic related, from fish food and equipment to actual fish. The organizer of the aquatic swap meet says they hosted the event to get more of the community interested in the hobby. They say having water and fish in one's home can even help people relax and unwind.
This is a hobby of peace and tranquility. This is something you can dive into your creativity side. You could create beautiful escapes. You could create an underwater world and an ecosystem that you have in your own mind and vision.
They say they've seen swap meets like this for aquatic items in Springfield and Tulsa and wanted to have the opportunity in Joplin as well. In Austin, Texas, police say 14 people were shot and wounded early Saturday when gunfire broke out, sending crowds running in the city's nightlife district. Police have arrested one suspect, but another remains at large. CBS News correspondent Michael George reports from New York.
Austin police made an arrest hours after gunfire erupted early Saturday in the city's downtown entertainment district. Earlier, interim Austin Police Chief Joseph Chacon said authorities were looking for 2 male suspects.
I'm not going to release any further information because the investigation is very much ongoing, and we are actively working to get them into custody.
Investigators are trying to determine what sparked the violence.
There was a large crowd of people that were there at that time. We are back to our normal size crowds that we were seeing before COVID hit.
The wounded were taken to several area hospitals.
This does appear to be an isolated incident between 2 parties. So that's why I say that most of the victims were innocent bystanders.
Investigators are scrutinizing multiple videos, including police body cameras and surveillance footage.
In reviewing all of this video, it has become very clear to me that our officers were just amazing this morning in the actions that they took, how quickly they took them, and the fact that I truly believe that they saved lives.
Chacon says officers applied tourniquets, used first aid kits, and in some cases rushed victims to the hospital in their patrol cars. Michael George, CBS News.
Austin police say 2 shooting victims were in critical condition and 12 were stable by Saturday afternoon. And we take this time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Hospital Corpsman Tim Sowersby served in the Navy during Korea, his hometown, Joplin. We are proud to recognize Hospital Corpsman Tim Sowersby, tonight's 4-state hero. And remember, to learn more about other heroes or nominate one of your own, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. That's a look at our top stories and a quick check of the forecast on the KOAM News at 6. Still ahead, we're going to take a look back at some of the top health stories. Plus, Mexico donating hundreds of thousands of COVID vaccines. How alcohol can impact your chances of getting pregnant, and the FDA approves the first new drug for Alzheimer's disease in nearly 20 years. Bradley Blackburn has some of this week's top health stories.
The Alzheimer's Association calls the FDA approval of Biogen's aducanumab historic for patients and their families. The drug is meant to target the disease in a new way.
It treats the underlying course of the disease. Amyloid is the sticky plaque that clogs up the brain. By removing that, it is assumed that the individual will have clinical benefit and improvements in cognitive decline.
The decision to approve the drug comes despite objections from the FDA's independent panel of neurological experts, who say the jury is still out on whether it works and is safe. New research suggests women trying to conceive should avoid heavy drinking. The study published in Human Reproduction found heavy drinking during any phase of a woman's cycle was significantly associated with reduced chances of getting pregnant. The number of Americans with diabetes who have their blood sugar under control is declining. A Johns Hopkins study shows the proportion of diabetics with glycemic control dropped about 7 percentage points during an 11-year period. More than 34 million Americans have diabetes. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Well, Mexico is donating 400,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine to Belize, Paraguay, and Bolivia. That's according to the country's Secretary of Foreign Relations. The plane carrying the batch left Mexico City this morning. Officials said that they are willing to send more shots for other countries in need in Latin America. Seattle claimed a first in the race to get people vaccinated against the coronavirus. Mayor Jenny Durkin said 70% of city residents 12 and up have now been fully vaccinated. She said Seattle is the first major U.S. city to get that much of its population vaccinated. Mayor Durkin also said efforts will now turn to reopening support issues such as helping local small retailers and restaurants, arts and culture programming, and transit use. The first confirmed COVID-19 case in the United States was north of Seattle in January of 2020. The state also saw the nation's first deadly outbreak at a nursing home. Well, still ahead, some monkeys in China taking the scenic route.
Plus, our temperatures stay on the hot side as we go into Sunday. We're going to look at that coming up next. Well, it turned out to be a much calmer day, but a hot day for us today. Temperatures right back up into lower 90s during the afternoon. Plus, allergies are still kind of high, so if you are an allergy sufferer today on a scale of 1 to 10, today's a 7, tomorrow's a 7. So they stay moderately high as we go through the next couple days. Very similar to our temperatures. Pretty hot, 88 Yates Center, 90 in Miami, 89 in Anderson. We have 90 in Carthage. We have Nevada sitting at 88 degrees. So temperatures are actually above where we should be for this time of the year. Plus the other problem is the humidity. Here's our dew points. You can see 74, 75 degrees on our scale. That's way up there. That's very close to the top of the scale. So that kind of puts us in that muggy to soupy range. And that's where we're really going to sit as we head into the next couple days. So on the other hand, that's why we get the heat index that is way up there. It feels like upper 90s to near 100 degrees still outside for us right now. We have partly cloudy skies. Looks pretty good currently, sitting at 90. It feels like 99. Northwesterly winds at about 5 to 10. Humidity is at 59%. Through the evening hours, we're going to slide back through the 80s, 70s. A little bit cooler for us tonight as we drop back into the upper 60s, and our humidity will at least drop a little bit as we head into the next couple days. Not much going on though. The entire Central Plains clear after the storm system we had yesterday. You can see across the Central Plains, nothing going on. A few showers, a few thunderstorms down through parts of New Mexico, but we have this big ridge of high pressure which is building, so it sends all the storm systems north of the ridge, and then they kind of drop to the east of us. So we're mainly going to be dry as that big ridge of high pressure just kind of sits on us as we go through the next couple days. In fact, let's go through time. We'll get a few waves out across western Kansas, but in general, we stay fairly dry. The next couple days, this big ridge still hanging on, and then eventually late next week, we'll get a system that slides across the northern parts of the plains, and it will give us chances for showers and thunderstorms, but it will also cool us down a little bit by the time we head into next week. And so we'll at least see some changes. Until then, staying warm, mainly staying dry. We will cool down a little bit by next week. And of course, you can always get the long range forecast on my month-long blog, KOMNewsNow.com. All right, let's go through time. Tonight, pretty much clear skies. We drop back upper 60s to near 70 degrees. As we go through Sunday, we heat up again. We still have this northeasterly flow, but we still go right around 90 degrees during the afternoon. So another hot, humid day. We start at 66, 86 by noon, then a high temp once again, right around 91 degrees during the afternoon. All right, tomorrow night, still pretty much clear skies. So we'll start the day sunny on Monday, and then even on Monday, we're going to see temperatures upper 80s to near 90 degrees once again. So very similar weather to what we have been seeing. Also, our heat index is going to be kind of high. You can see again tomorrow, heat indices into the mid 90s during the afternoon. 91 tomorrow, 91 on Monday. A little bit cooler Tuesday and Wednesday, back into the 90s on Thursday. But look at a week from today. Pretty nice, high temp of only 81 degrees.
Not too bad. I mean, 81 is going to feel like fall compared to what we've seen the last.
Much lower.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure Danny's looking forward to it too, going out there all the time.
I don't know.
Doug, thank you so much. Danny, in sports, Outlaws are back in action on the road.
Yep, they're up in Des Moines tonight for a 2-game series over the weekend, so we'll have more details on that. Plus, Labette County High School hosts a girls wrestling camp for the very first time. That story and more next.
Doug HEADY has earned the
Labette County High School is hosting a 2-day wrestling camp finishing up today. Labette's head coach Jason Storm thought of the idea back in March and began to spread the word. It's the first camp of its kind in the area and has attracted coaches and wrestlers from all over. 70 girls from as far as Great Bend and Emporia, Kansas are participating in the camp. Storm also invited wrestlers from Baker University, including Labette alum Abby Jones, to help teach and coach. Over the 2 days, the girls spend time working on technique, and they also get to wrestle in live matches. Storm hopes to run the camp each year, providing the girls with an opportunity to work on their craft over the summer.
Huge advantage. You know, any girl who's out here during the summer, putting in work during the summer, it's just going to help make them better. And being able to provide that opportunity to these girls is something really special to us.
It's a big deal because there are so many girls that aren't here putting in extra work to get better.
The Joplin Outlaws had an unexpected day off on Friday due to a weather postponement. They currently lead the South Division at 4-2 and are coming off a dominant 13-1 win. Back in action tonight, kicking off a 4-game road trip against Des Moines. The short history between Joplin and Des Moines this season favors the Outlaws. They swept a 2-game home series against the Peak Prospects to open up the season. And now they'll look to pick up a few more on the road. First pitch at 7. We'll have updates tonight at 10. In the majors, Kansas City is in the midst of a 4-game series on the West Coast against Oakland. The Royals took Game 1, and then it was the A's turn. They got the walk-off win on Friday. So the Royals looking to take back the momentum tonight. They are trailing 10-2 in the 8th. Kelvin Gutierrez just put the Royals on the board this inning with a 2-run homer. He is 2 for 4 tonight. As for St. Louis, they are 4 games back, but not trending in the right direction. 9 of their last 11 games are losses, including Game 1 of their series against Chicago. The Cards blew a 5-1 lead against the Cubs on Friday. Game 2 tonight with a chance to even up the series. This one just getting underway.
Missouri team's just not pulling it together this year so far.
It's been up and down and up and down.
It has been a serious roller coaster. They've apparently spent too much time at the theme parks up there.
Jealous of that.
Hey, but I'm looking forward to those Outlaws headlights tonight.
Absolutely.
So. Danny, thank you so much. We're going to be right back after this.
with Long John Silver's Highway 60 west of Seneca, Missouri.
Coming up tonight at 10, we're going to take a look at the storm damage from across the area as well as provide an update on utility restoration. Plus, we'll hear more from some of those taking part in the free fishing day at Kellogg Lake in Carthage. And we'll have more on that aquatic swap meet in Joplin. Those stories and a lot more coming your way tonight at 10. Over 100 monkeys crossed a river in a scenic spot of southwest China's Chongqing Municipality. Led by the Monkey King, wild macaws, I believe that's it, happily jumped into the river one by one, with naughty ones diving into the water to make splashes and leisurely swam to the opposite bank. It is a common scene in the Chongqing scenic spot, a habitat of the macaws, but it is quite rare in other parts of the country. And what they're doing is just about right for some of the heat we've seen. It seems like, you know, you could go for a good swim across the river.
Another great day actually tomorrow for if you want to hit the pool or the lakes or whatever. It's going to stay hot. 91 tomorrow, 91 on Monday. Hair cooler Tuesday and Wednesday, mainly dry the next few days. A few pop-up thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. Cooling down next weekend. So next weekend is going to be a good one to get out and enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, 81 degrees, like I said earlier, it's going to feel like fall around here.
It'll feel good.
Doug, thank you so much. Danny, final check of sports.
Yeah, so at the wrestling camp, they named a most outstanding wrestler. That went to Isabel Renfro from Seneca High School in Missouri.
Well, all right. Danny, Doug, thank you guys so much. That's our time for now. Next news time at 9 on Fox 14. And you can find us anytime at KOAMNewsNow.com and with the KOAM News Now app. Thanks for making us part of your night.